Some people will always buy branded phones, no matter the cost, no matter the requirements. However, for people like myself that prefer to eat an apple instead of having it plastered at the back of my phone, and I don't particularly care about status symbols of top of the range Google, Samsung or whatever other brands, there are plenty of alternatives around. And nowadays there are a lot of maybe less known Chinese manufacturers that are coming up with stunning phones with brilliant characteristics and for a quarter or a fifth of the price. This should definitely be one of them. This is the Oukitel U18. It's got stunning performance, stunning characteristics. Looking at the reviews, it seems to be a very, very good phone. Very similar design to an iPhone X in some respect. Yes, don't get me wrong guys, there will be compromises to be made. This is about 170, 180 pounds. We are not talking about £1,000 phone. To start with, this has a nearly 6-inch screen. To be precise, is 5.85. The resolution is 1512 by 720, and it's got a ratio of 21:9. So it should be already, you know, a very, very nice and easy screen to see. Inside the box, there we go. We got the phone. We will check everything in a second. Remove, fantastic. It comes already with a pre-installed bumper case. In fairness, quite a few Chinese phones do that, which is quite nice and handy. See-through bumper case, always useful to have. The look of it, the feel of it is already very, very good. It seems to me all aluminium. Potentially the back is plastic, but yeah, I will assume it's the back is plastic with a very nice aluminium finishing all around. We'll get to the phone in a second. Let's go through everything first. Okay, the SIM removal tool, instruction, cable. The phone is a Type-C phone, which is absolutely fantastic. I love Type-C. Whichever way you revert the phone, it works. Sorry, you revert the cable, works fantastically. And of course, with a Type-C, you end up having to use an adapter though, because this hasn't got, it hasn't got the headphone jack. Again, similar potentially to an iPhone. It's not a trend that I particularly like, but you know, not a problem at all anyway. In the separate box, I assume we also have the UK charger. Yeah, that's correct. So there we go. This should be a 5 volt 2000 milliampere, because the battery of this phone is a 4000 milliampere hour battery, so brilliant and very, very large. But also it supports fast charging, so it's good to have, of course, an adapter that allows it to do so. So let's get to the phone. Okay. Of course, guys, I'm just opening it up for the moment, but I will need to run a few tests to see exactly the characteristics. So I will have to turn it on, install a few things. But let me remove all the covers in the meantime, so at least we can have a good view of it. As you can see, this has a dual back camera as well. The camera should be a 16 megapixel plus a 5 megapixel camera. Looking at some of the information, the reviews of the camera is very, very good for the price of phone. Fingerprint reader, brilliant to have. Also, this supports face recognition, so you can unlock it directly with your face. It's got, well, as you can see from the face, let me turn it on. Hopefully there is already some power in it. There we go. It has the notch system similar to an iPhone, and again the front camera is a 13 megapixel camera, so again very, very good. This also comes with a 4 gig of RAM, 64 of ROM, so plenty of storage, but it can also be expanded with a TF card, because this phone supports dual SIM, is a nano SIM, so dual nano SIM, or otherwise you can put one nano SIM plus a TF card. Again, don't know if I will need to do that, because there we go. I don't know if I will need to do that, because already with 64 gig of ROM I think I will have plenty. And now very quickly before I install everything, on the little compromises that I was telling you before, this hasn't got Android 8.0 or 8.1, it comes with Android 7 instead. Not exactly a deal breaker for me, I'm happy with that. And the processor, yeah, potentially that is the only compromise, and I would have liked maybe a slightly different processor. This is the MT6750T,
which is a decent processor, and it should be working absolutely fine for all the day-to-day tasks. It should, you know, plow through absolutely everything. The only issue is then it's potentially getting a bit old. It's an 8-core processor anyway, but it's getting a bit old. So maybe on something like heavy gaming or some very heavy demanding application, I might need to wait, you know, a couple of extra seconds more than I will have to wait potentially on a top of the range phone. So guys, I've been using now this phone for a few days. Few quick consideration. Fingerprint reader, very nice and responsive. As you can see, as soon as I touch the back, the phone is on. I used to use it also with the face recognition, and to be honest, it was working well, but I much rather using that system. Responsiveness, as you can see from my playing around, you know, everything works absolutely fine. My concern was the processor, that as I said is not the latest generation, but no, everything works absolutely beautifully. I haven't yet put the passwords and everything else for Instagram, Facebook and whatever, also because guys, if you don't mind, I don't particularly want you to read it. But as you can see, everything is very quick. One thing that I really like is that you can put also the phone in full orientation mode. So when, for example, I dock it onto a keyboard, I can easily work on it, and everything works beautifully. So let me see if I can potentially open for you a document of something. Well, even just a little sample. There you go. So imagine now this, if it's onto a keyboard, everything works smoothly, quickly, or otherwise you can use, of course, the unbuilt keyboard. Then it comes up, and again, you know, very quick and very responsive. Gaming wise, I've installed a few games, PUBG Mobile, Helix, Asphalt 8. Well, let's try Asphalt 8 for example. It's a very demanding, graphically demanding game. While I'm talking, you will see the loading time. As I said to you, this hasn't got the top of the range processor, so it will take possibly a bit longer than it will take on very top of the range screens. But as you can see, everything is already on. To then get into a game and play something quickly so you guys can see it, let's have a quick go at something. There we go. Let me also increase the volume, which again, it works very well. It's got a single speaker, which in fairness most phones of this range have, but some of the phones fake a second speaker over here. Fully upload Oukitel actually for avoiding that type of silliness, also because I prefer to have a speaker there and then I grab the phone with both ends and play nice and easy. As you can see also for the screen, on games it goes in totally full screen mode, and as you can see from playing it, everything is responsive. So this is set at maximum resolution, maximum graphical resolution, and you know, apart from my driving potentially being a bit impaired because I'm talking to you while I'm playing, you can actually see that everything works nice and smoothly. So let's get to something else quickly. So let's close everything up. Let's get to the main screen. Let's try a different game, for example. There you go. Okay, let's forget about it for a second. Okay, we don't care about those. Let's close that on. Let's go back to the main screen. As you can see, I'm trying to do something very quickly anyway, so you can see the responsiveness of the phone. I've taken several pictures also. Full credit of in particular the back camera, the 20 megapixel camera does a fantastic job, and I'm putting a few pictures on, and as a comparison I put some picture from an iPhone 5S, which is still a pretty decent phone, in particular from the graphic point of view of the camera. Again, you can probably see it already from the screen, from the plane. Everything works very well. It's nice and smooth. It's very responsive. What else can I show you? Let's see. Google Maps, for example, again, starting it afresh from the start. There you go. Everything loading nice and quickly. Let's try a rotation, and there you go. So yeah, there are definitely no criticisms about the phone, and I actually quite like the notch effect. I wasn't too sure about it initially, but no, it works very well. And as I said, as soon as you then open apps, you can actually choose if you want apps in full screen or with the notch effect. Going into the setting, you have a lot of options there. So you have certain type of features like gesture motion, gesture unlock, and smart somatosensory that allow you to do things that generally Android will not allow you to do. Oh, I also want to show you the Antutu benchmark score. I ran it before, there we go. The software has been optimized so beautifully that everything works very, very well. I mean, you've seen it with some of the very demanding games, and everything works brilliantly. Couple of consideration: when you watch a YouTube video, because of the type of screen, the maximum resolution is 720p, which is not exactly a problem for me. Also, because of this type of screen, you will not see any difference from 1080 to 720. We can also test the speaker, a loudspeaker, and one thing that I didn't mention is that I'm keeping at the moment the brightness halfway there. Even if it's very bright, you know, to what I feel is the screen, is actually just halfway to the maximum that is allowed. There you go. This is the quality of the speaker, which personally I feel that it's quite loud. You can actually probably hear that I'm sort of shouting a bit. Let me turn it down a bit. I feel that it's actually pretty loud, and in all honesty quite well balanced. Another thing that I applaud is how easy and how comfortable is the grip with this phone. As I said, guys, everything works very, very well. Everything is responsive, everything is quick. So what can I say? Absolutely love this phone. It's a bit heavier than a lot of the more expensive phones. So you can probably see yourself, 256 grams, which is nowhere massive, but it is heavier than a lot of the other phones. You need to remember that I got also the cover on it, which I actually grew quite fond of it. But yeah, guys, if you want a budget phone for about the 170, 180 pounds mark, then works incredibly well, very quick, very responsive. You know, the cameras are actually very good. Some of the best cameras that I've seen for this type of phones. Definitely recommended. Brilliant phone, and for the money, fantastic buy.